Welcome to Terry Tuesday. I knew I had that nagging feeling, Terry, that I forgot something,
Yes.
and then I actually did.
Uh-oh, what'd
I
you
forgot
forget?
to load the opening video. That's why it took so long for us to get started.
Oh well, life is life.
Yeah, so I had to upload it right there, and then while the countdown was going on, and I was like, oh man, hopefully I get this right. All right. Anyway, here we go.
All right.
So we got the opening video up. Yesterday we got the opening part of the card right over at Parks. In fact, I think minus the. Can anybody else hear us echoing, or just do I hear myself echoing, and that's it? So if you could let me know in the comments if you can hear an echo, I would greatly appreciate that because I hear a terrible echo. In any case, yesterday we couldn't strap together 4 winners in a row to make for our pick fours, but we had a lot of trifectas and exactas at that Parks track.
We did, yeah. Some nice ones too.
Some real nice ones. To box it up, I haven't managed to hit my box it up, and I thought, oh man. But I knew right away when that 6 horse didn't break for my single to the top to the front that he was probably not going to win.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, that's the way it goes. Whatever it was that was causing the echo, it has since gone away. So that's a big plus. So whoever fixed it out there, thank you.
Thank you. Am I a queen at all?
No, not any longer. You stopped
All right.
That's a positive. So,
yeah.
All right. But something we do echo every day around here is that you should head on over to Horse Center if you didn't check out last night's show with the smiling forever wild Jamie and Swiss Army Sean. Looks like he's sleeping over there. They had on a great jockey, thousands and thousands and thousands of wins, Perry Oots. So show definitely worth checking out. So make sure you go into there today, right here on Horse Racing Radar TV. Give that show and all the Horse Center shows because the guests, those videos, just because we do news and videos, it doesn't have a expiration day on it like horse racing picks do. So make sure you check that out tonight. They're going to have on another good guest tonight. Hopefully, that's the wrong one. So we might as well do the parlay of the day for the professor. There's a link in the description below. Make sure you click on the parlay for the day for the professor. Head on over there. Get your baseball picks. I think the baseball is back in play tonight. Yes, today he likes an old school parlay. He likes the Braves, money line and under 7.5 on the $100.75 on DraftKings. So every $100, potential $175 return. Here we have the Facebook page, which tells us who our guest of the day is going to be tonight, Terry. And that is John Geraldo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so make sure you check that out. That'll be tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern on Horse Center. The best way to make sure you don't miss anything is to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram. You see everything scrolling down below.
Yeah, and those shows are great too. That one last night was really good. He actually even talked about my favorite jockey of all time, Russell Bays. So that was pretty cool.
Yes. Why is he your favorite jockey of all time?
Just because
you won a lot of money on him?
Well, that, and I used to talk to him all the time at Golden Gate Fields and Bay Meadows. He'd get off his mount and be walking back to where he has to get changed. And I'd talk to him. He always was very good at talking and spending a few minutes. So, yeah. And I like that he's a type guy that never did anything like drink or drugs. He was a family man, and he just really was pretty nice. He is
overall good guy. Huh?
Yeah.
So we went through the scratches at Indiana Grand today. It doesn't necessarily mean that there won't be more. I suspect that there will be more because there's a couple, at least one, also eligible that's still eligible, but nobody is scratched. So that tells me there's going to be another round of scratches before the racing gets started. Hopefully, the only one that gets scratched is that 14 in that race that I'm talking about. So let's get started without much further delay, Terry, with Horseshoe Indianapolis for today. Race number 1. This one is 6 furlongs. And if you look at 6 furlongs on the main track, there is a bias for early speed with a slight inside post, Terry. That is a maiden $34,000 race. Let's take a quick gander at what our space sheet tells us about the way this race might work out. And we see here that the 6 horse does have, as an E-horse, one that wants to lead probably. Should be right up on the front. The 3 and the 5 as pressure horses also are probably going to get some pretty good trips according to the way they've looked like they like to run on paper. You have a first-time starter here with the 2. The 4-horse is the only class dropper, it looks like to me anyway. It has a superior late pace advantage, 3 check marks, meaning 15 points better than the next closest horse. Is that horse in your picks, Terry?
Absolutely. It's my first pick, number 4. Cosillo, I guess, Cosillo, whatever. Number 4.
It's number 4.
He finished third versus Tougher in his last start, which was his owning start. He drops in class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and this jockey trainer combination the last 14 days have won 2 out of 4 starts. Then I like the number 1 horse, Gray Charmer. He ran second versus Similar on the turf in his last race. The rail post is winning 18% clip, and he should improve returning to dirt. And then number 6, I like number 6, Cloud Without Rain. He should improve also while returning to dirt. The trainer wins 20% of the time with the horse. He moves from turf to dirt, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And then number 3 is my 4th pick, CJ All the Way. He ran second in his last race, has the highest last race speed rating, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
Well, once again, Terry, where you stop, I start. I'm going to go with CJ All the Way. This one is a track dropper coming in from Tier 1 tracks. Does have the top last race speed figure. Coming in from Churchill Downs, I don't know. Is it a drop in class to run for maiden special weight at Indy, but maiden claiming 30, basically the same money at Churchill compared to Indy? I don't know if that's a class drop or not.
Yeah,
I think it's probably parallel. So you got a track dropper with the top last race speed figure facing similar. I kind of like that combination. Number 6, Cloud Without Rain, as Terry and I go almost invert of each other. Probably the pace setter in here has been on that Indianapolis dirt 2 times with a second and a third. The distance 3 times, collecting a second and a third, both at Horseshoe Indianapolis. So maybe a budding horse for the course. Number 4, Coselio, we'll go with that as the name, has a super duper late pace advantage, as we noticed in our Way to the Winner Circle worksheet. It is another Churchill Downs maiden special weight dropper to maiden claiming here, so we know for sure that that's a drop. Also getting first time Lasix, which is a 38% winner for trainer Brad Cox, so he doesn't need any more help. But it seems like Lasix sure gives him a lot more. And then finally, Gray Charmer is my 3rd choice. This one just missed in its last race. So we're going to go with the Chris Parmalu angle as the horse that finished second in a maiden race. Next time out, they come back and win. And this one should benefit from riding on the rail and its second start after a layoff. Race number 2. This one is also 6 furlongs, Terry. So again, inside speed is the way to go. It's an allowance 5,000 for a purse of 16 grand. Race number 2, we again see our race shape right here, and looks like most of them are going to get a comfortable trip based upon the way that they like to get to the winner's circle. The 1 horse, the 3, and the 4 should be the ones that are forwardly placed when the gates open, probably in some order of 1, 2, and 3 at the quarter-mile marker. We do see that the 2 horse does have the most late pace in here, so he's an EP horse. So if these 3 go too fast, he'll sit off and be patient and use those late legs to kick home. And if they go too slow, he'll move up in here and say, okay, guys, let's giddy up and go. The 1 horse does have the best combination of early pace and late pace and gets a plus mark, 5 points better than the next horse. So I asked you if you started with the 4 last time out. So let's see if I can go 2 for 2. So I honestly don't know what you picked. Are you going to start with the 1 in this one?
I am. Number 1's my best bet of the day. Silver
I can
Moon.
read you like a Dr. Seuss book, Terry.
You can. Yeah, you're pretty good at that.
Oh, it is your best bet too, huh?
It is, yeah. Silver Moon Road. You know, he won his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis. He has the highest last race speeding rating. This rail post is winning a 19% clip. He has the highest street figure at today's distance, and he has a high percentage winning trainer, so he has a lot of boxes marked.
And he's going to be 3 to 5.
He will. He'll be very short priced.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I liked my second pick's number 4, Little Mighty Man. He won his last race at FanDuel and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I like
that FanDuel to Indianapolis move, Terry.
I think that's a. You know, you're going.
It's definitely moving up.
Yeah, you're going from a lower track to a, so you should get some price on it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, number 5 is my 3rd pick, Teos. He won his last race at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And my last pick, number two, is my fourth pick, Heavenly Trip. He finished third versus Tougher in his last race, drops in class today, and he should improve at a shorter distance.
Yeah, this one horse, Terry, it should win this race. When something looks like this on paper, it bothers me because I want to pick against it.
Yeah.
And I didn't pick against it in our hot dog pick fours, which are coming up in just a moment. But when you look at the numbers, they're so superior to everybody else's. Something either has to go wrong for the one horse, or it has to regress badly, or some other horse in this field's got to really step up beyond what it's been able to do so far. Maybe Tejas can be that horse. It's the lone PC horse in a field that could have most of the horses forwardly placed. So if it's a hot pace, this Churchill Downs horse, much like the one, they both ran at Churchill Downs in the past. Some similar numbers to Silver Moon Road back at Churchill, but it's like the 5 hasn't run back to those numbers yet, where the 1 has. So if the 5 can run back, I think it's the biggest threat to the one horse. Number 2, Heavenly Trip, as Terry once again has been pirating my computer. Good form in the last 3. Did show some minor regression in that last race. So I think the drop in class here makes sense. And then finally, number 4, a little mighty man, has par speed and pace numbers with the top contenders. I just don't know, as I kind of asked you about, if the FanDuel numbers are going to hold up or if he's likely to see a dip. I'm expecting a dip in performance. We'll find out. Maybe we can go back-to-back best bets here in this 5.5 furlong claiming $5,000 race, Terry. So far at 5.5 furlongs, it looks like Early Speed with a slight inside-out bias from posts 1 through 7 is the way to go. If you wear an 8 or out, which I don't think is the case here, you're going to experience some difficulty. So Speed is the way at 5.5 furlongs. Not surprising at all. For race number 3, we do have a couple of scratches that could impact the early pace because the 4 and the 6 wanted to be on the lead. Looks to me like maybe the 7 horse might take that spot. Does also own some of the best late pace numbers in the field. Has the top combination of early pace and late pace with a plus advantage, meaning 5 points higher than the next closest horse. And of course, the 2 closers, as they should, they do have the most late pace. So with the scratches, we have a symmetrical race here: 2 on the front, 1 in the middle, and 2 on the back. For me, in that situation, that creates my best bet, Terry. My best bet of the day being in race number 3, number 7, Race Day Attire. And I'll tell you why after you tell me about your picks.
All right. Well, let me tell you that I like your best bet of the day as my first pick, number 7, Race Day Attire. Mm-hmm. You know, she finished in the money in 6 out of 7 races, winning one of the starts at Horseshoe International, and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 2 is my second pick, Expect the Boss. She finished 3rd in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer. Then number 5 is my third pick, Guess in My Heart. She drops in class today, has a trainer who wins 32% of the time when dropping a horse down 2 classes. And the trainer-jockey combination in the last 14 days have won 50% of their starts. And then I like number 1 as my 4th pick, Second Exchange. She finished 3rd in her last race, has the highest last speed rating, and her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters.
Well, Terry, once again, you are absolutely stealing my picks. 7 Race Day Attire does have that plus early pace, late pace advantage. I think it's going to get a good trip in between the speed and the closers. That should work out, I think, to its advantage. Number 2 is my second choice, just like you, Terry, or you're just like me, I think is more like it.
Number 2. You're not going into my computer?
No, I'm not. Expect the Boss. The distance has been his best distance, 7 times out, 4 seconds and a third. Did show better fractions last time out at 6 furlongs compared to 5.5 furlongs the previous race. So went longer and went faster. Usually a good sign in my book. Number 5, Guessed in My Heart. This one's dropping down multiple classes, which is a 32% winner for its trainer. Number 1, Second Exchange, is Terry and I go exactly the same, 7-2-5-1. So take any other horse that's in the field, and you'll probably be better off. But Second Exchange, 3 consecutive speed figure increases that resulted in the top last race speed figure. did run better fractions through 5 furlongs in his last with a noticeable mid-move improvement. We talked about that mid-move improvement yesterday, and a horse that made that mid-move improvement came out and won that race. So hopefully that's an omen of another one to come, but I don't want it to beat my best bet.
No, I don't blame you.
Race 4, as we go on to the last race of the opening pick 4. In just a second, we will have our hot dog pick 4s. This one is a mile on the turf. I think the turf is listed as firm. There's been a couple scratches here, I think, as well in race number 4. Yes, the 9 horse, which Terry and I both had in our picks, has been scratched. We had to make some late adjustments. Had to mess with my microphone. That's what made us a little bit late. So 1 mile on the turf, the track bias so far, a tactical speed with the middle post. Looks like it's the way to win this maiden optional claiming $30,000 race. Again, race number 4, the 9 horses. You can see on the way to the winner's circle worksheet was a horse that probably was going to have an early pace advantage, but guess what? He ain't in the race no more. Everybody else has been either a closer. This 3 horse is a pressure horse, so they probably can have a good trip now. The 4 horse, the 5 horse, and the 7 horse all get NCs. That mean they have never been close. So if any one of them beats you, that's the way. That's horse racing, I guess, huh, Terry?
That's right.
So the horse that has the most early pace, late pace combination is the 3 horse in here, Terry. Which 4 horses are you going to put in race number 4 as the potential horses to be in your hot dog pick 4?
Well, I like number 1 as my first pick, Gypsy Rose Lee. She finished 3rd versus in her last race and has a trainer who wins 28% of the time when going from a maiden to a maiden claiming race. And then I like number 10, Sakanona.
5 times fast.
Yeah, that's right. I can't do that. She has a trainer who wins 34% of the time when going from a maiden to a maiden claiming race, and she has a nice maintenance workout.
I'm going to go with Sakona.
Sakona, okay. And then I like number 8, Indeed a Girl Like You. She switches to a high percentage winning trainer and has a good workout on October 6th. And then number 3 is my 4th pick, Leila's Song. Her best dirt speed is fastest than the average winning speed, and she has a decent workout on October 6th.
All right. So in race number 4 for me, I'm going to start off with number 6, Cajun Kid. Is a maiden special weight dropper to the maiden claiming ranks that Thomas Amos, a friend of the show, came on recently. If you haven't seen that show on Horse Center, you want to make sure you go to our horse racing radar TV station here on YouTube or YouTube station and check out that interview. It's a good one. He talked a lot about some of the stuff in the industry, which was pretty interesting. This horse also has some good workouts for its first race since in 2022. So been rested. He should be fresh legs for sure. Number 1, Gypsy Rose Lee. This is another maiden special weight dropper. This is a 29% angle for trainer Anthony Granitz. Does have a plus late pace, meaning it should be the one that's coming with the most speed at the end. Number 10, Sakona. That's the official pronunciator's way of putting it in there. Yet another maiden special weight to maiden claimer dropper. And this one, trainer Brian Lynch wins at 35%. And then finally, the last of the maiden special weight droppers for me, the 8 horse. I Need a Girl Like You. This is I don't know if it's a maiden special weight dropper or not because it was running a maiden $17,000, but it does have decent workouts in between. And it was a tough call between the 8 and the 3 for me, honestly. So I went with the 8 horse. We'll see if that plays out for us or not. And then finally, our hot dog pick for us, Terry, for the first 4 races, we both are going to single up that one, and hopefully we both don't share the same regret at the same time.
Yeah, I hope not. And, if it gets a clean trip and no problems, it should win pretty easily. So,
well, that's like I said, everything looks like that on paper. It always kind of freaks me out a little bit, though, when I see something like that, because you're not always sure that that's how it's going to play out.
That's right.
Race 5, Terry, give me your 4 numbers real quick because this is your box it up.
All righty. Race 5, my 4 numbers are the 6, the 7, the 2, and then the 4.
6, 7, 2, 4. The box it up is when we take 4 horses, we put them together in an exacta box, trifecta box, superfecta box. I had my trifecta yesterday. I think it paid like $60, $2 for the exacta, and like $35 for the 50-cent trifecta. But we only do $1 exacta box. 50-cent worked out right. In race number 5, our pace worksheet, we do see another scratch in here. The 5 horse get knocked out. I don't think it was going to factor in here very much.
No.
We do have a left arrow horse in here. That is the 6 horse. Does have a plus early pace advantage early out, meaning at the quarter-mile marker could be as much as a length ahead of anybody else in the field. The 7 horse, as an EP horse, should sit right off the lead. Does have some late pace that should work out for it. And the top early pace, late pace combination, 6 and 7, I think will probably factor in when the race is all said and done. So in your box it up, Terry, in race number 5, you do have the 6 and 7 as your top 2 picks. So
I do.
guy.
Yeah, I like number 6 as my top pick, Judy's Market. You know, she finished 3rd in her last race, has a high percentage winning trainer. He wins 28% of the time when going from a sprint to a route with his mounts. And number 7, Harlan's Princess. She won 2 races at Horseshoe Indianapolis and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 2 is my 3rd pick, Hashtag Winner. She drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating. Her best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And the jockey-trainer combination has finished in the money 8 out of 10 starts with 5 wins in 3 seconds. And then I like number 4, Mexa.
Wait. I have 6725. Am I wrong?
725.
You put that in there, not me.
Oh,
so.
I did. Yeah. 672. Let me look here. No, the five got scratched, so I must not have changed it. So it's a 4.
Right. So the 4 is the last horse?
Yeah.
All right. What's its name?
Mexa. She finished in the money 57% of the time during her career. So, yeah.
All right. So let me make sure I get this right in there. So race 4, MEXIA. All right.
Yep.
So we want to make sure that it accurately reflects. That's why we went ahead and did this worksheet so that we can put in things on the fly because we were getting frustrated by scratches that messed us up in show. All right. So for me in race number 5, I'm going to start with my long shot in race number 5, Terry.
Okay.
If I can pull up my sheet. Race 5, I have the 6 horse as my top choice, just like you. How about that?
That's
5
great.
1 morning line. Left arrow horse does have that early pace edge. Easy win in the lone run at the distance as the top career performance for Judy's Market. Number 7, Harlan's Princess. Again, Terry, in my computer. 2 wins in 11 races. Both of them come in just 5 races at today's distance. Number 2, Hashtag Winner. Tied for the top last race big figure. Dropping in class for this spot. Also a track dropper, but did run at Horseshoe Indianapolis twice before. Those were on turf. So far, the horse's resume has been mixed for second starts off the bench like today. So maybe it can improve, maybe not. And then finally, the 3 horse, 2 Carat Ransom. I'm going to take a little bit of a bomb here. Dropping a couple of classes. Does have some back speed. Resume says this one has the potential to improve a lot in the second race off the bench and did show a lot of late leg in that last race. So maybe we catch a little price in here in race number 5. Race number 6 is 1/16th mile on the turf. That would be quick. 1 1/16th miles on the turf so far at the track. You find the bias for that distance has been inside out, and you definitely, absolutely want to have closers in this spot, Terry, because they have been the ones that have won the way. We have some scratches here again. The 2 also entries here in this race are knocked out, along with the 7. We find that the 3 and the 5 are likely to be your pace setters, and the 2 being a left arrow horse. As I mentioned, late pace is probably the way to win. The 6 horse has the most late pace in the field, followed by the 5, then the 3 maybe. So that's the way that looks like to me. All right, Terry, I'm going to do my box it up in a minute, but before we do my box it up, take us through your thoughts for this race.
Okay. In the 6th race, I like as my first pick, number 11, Investment Income. She won her last race at Monmouth Park on the turf and at today's distance, and her best turf speed is fastest among today's starters. Then I like number 4, Fairy Cakes. She comes in from Colonial Downs to try Horseshoe Indianapolis for the first time, and she has the highest last speed rating. Then I like number 2, Be a Bolt Runner. She returns to Horseshoe Indianapolis, where she's done well in the past and has a high percentage winning jockey. And then I like number 8, Cyclist. She should improve while returning to a route, has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. And the jockey in the last 14 days, or the jockey and the trainer in the last 14 days, has been in the money 9 out of 20 times, winning 5 of those races.
All right. So just to give you an answer to that question, Barry, what is a left arrow horse? Actually, a handicapping angle that I came up with, because I go back and review everything, and then after the races. And one of the things I was noticing is when I have horses that you see it, so a left arrow horse really can't be in this column because these are the horses that are going to be in the front. The E horses are horses, as I say, in this way to the winner's circle that usually need the lead to win. If they're not on the lead, they usually don't win. The EP horses can be on the lead or they can be right behind the lead. So pressure, usually within a length and a half, 2 lengths of the leader. Never more than 2 lengths back. Those horses would be your pressure horses. Those are the ones that don't get to the lead, but do tend to win when they're less than 2 furlongs back from the leader. So all these horses here should be within 2 furlongs of the leading horses. The pressure closers, these are ones that can pressure if they want, but can also close. So I'm looking for my left arrow horses in Group P, PC, and C. And what that simply means, in this case, the 2 horse, which is my left arrow horse, the way I calculate early pace figures, its early pace figures are going to move this horse forward. So although on paper he looks like a closer, his actual running speeds out of the gate at the 2 and 4 furlong numbers suggest that it will be competitive. So it's going to move forward and then still have those late legs at the end. And I can't tell you how many of these horses, they run into money pretty regularly. A lot of them win, and a lot of times they're at prices too. So I think the other day I didn't put one in, Terry, right? And it was a 2 horse, and it was like 35 to 1, and it almost won. And I was like, Terry, that's it. I'm never not doing that again.
Yep.
But something I came up with on my own. You can kind of tweak it the way you want, but that's how I do it. I don't want to give away all the secret sauce, Barry, because then I don't have any more value. Not that I had any to begin with. But let's see what my race 6 box it up looks like, Terry. I'm going to go with the 2 horse Be a Bolt Runner because it is a left arrow horse. It's going to be a decent price too, I think. I think it's like 10 to 1 morning line as well. Hasn't run since February, so coming off the bench is kind of question mark there for this horse, but has run on the Horseshoe Indianapolis turf 3 times with a win and a second. The workouts aren't great, but they're not bad either. Number 8, Psychologist just missed in her lone turf race, which happened to be at Horseshoe Indianapolis. Fairy Cakes does have the top pedigree numbers for the turf and has a Z pattern in its last. And if anybody wants me to explain a Z pattern, I can do that as well. Does have the top last race speed figure, maybe 3rd start off the bench is the magic number. And then finally, number 11, Investment Income is a track dropper, was improved in the first half mile of the last race. And another one that might be better in its 3rd start off the bench, but hasn't made it 3 races in a row yet. So it'll be interesting to see how the Investment Income performs in a race that it hasn't cycled to before. Hopefully it's one that does well. I picked this one because I really think Terry is wide open, and any of them can win, and all of these horses I think are decent odds for me. All right, let's move on to race number 7, Terry. Race 7 is a race 7. I got to open up the right screen. I apologize. 6 furlongs maiden for $36,000, as we mentioned before. 6 furlongs at Indianapolis Grand. You want to have some inside early speed. Probably the one that was likely to be the favorite got scratched out of here. That's the 1 horse. 2 horse got nixed out as well. You have a trio of first-time starters. When I look at the races, in this case, you have 3 first-time starters versus 3 horses that have got experience. I put them in 2 buckets. I went with the first-time starters first, Terry. I think you went with the experienced horse first. Why did you take the experienced horse over the first-time starters?
Well, I didn't. I took number 8, Chicken Burger.
Oh, I
And
thought you had the number 3 in there as your top choice. All right, never mind.
how did they do that?
It's probably just the way you put them in the. I think you just put your pick fours in numerical order and not in your
Oh,
pick order.
yeah, I do. I don't put them the way that I pick them. I do them in numerical order because if I don't do that when I'm playing it, I goof myself up. So anyway,
Happens.
number 8 is my top choice, Chicken Burger. She is a first-time starter. Her sire wins 16% of the time with first-time starters. Her dam has 6 winners from 8 starters, and the breeding suits today's distance. Then I like number 3, Addicted to Love. She has finished third versus similar in her last race, and her best dirt speed is faster than the average winning speed. And then I like as my third choice, number 6, Castle Magic. She is a first time starter whose dam has 1 winner from 2 starters, and her breeding suits today's sprint distance. And then I like number 7, Flat Out Cali. She's also a first time starter whose dam has 2 winners from 6 starters. The breeding suits today's distance, sprint distance, and she has a really nice workout on October 4th.
For me, I just ranked as I said, I bucket everything. So I think the 3 first-time starters are probably where you're going to find your winner. I ranked them in order according to my interpretation of the workouts. Could be wrong. I think the 8 had the best workouts, followed by the 7, then the 6. I do like the 3 horse in here. I was contemplating moving it up in front of the 6, but I'll go with the 3 first-time starters. The 3 did show better across the board last time out, so ran better 2, 4, and 6 furlong numbers. Late pace numbers, and also had a Z pattern. So with the Z pattern, you see the 2 furlong number is here, and then the 4 furlong number dips a little bit and then picks it back up in the late pace. So a little bit of a rest, a little bit of an afternoon nap, if you will. All right. The last thoroughbred race at Horseshoe Indianapolis today is race number 8. Race number 8 is another one of these races on the turf for 1 mile, claiming $15,000, non-winners of 2, for a purse of $18,500. The last time today we're going to check out the way to the winner's circle worksheet is right here. This is the race that convinces me there's more scratches to come because the 14 is also eligible, and he was still in the race. He's still in the race as of right now. So I expect that you'll see more scratches as they come closer to post time. This race does have a very interesting shape, Terry. Look at all these horses over here that want to be in the closing column.
Yeah.
The entire field almost, right? The 13 happened to scratch out. It's the only one that scratched out. The 14, if it does get in, it's got a big price, but it does have an opportunity, I think, as the lone pressure horse in this field. The 11 horse is one that's likely to be on the pace and set the lead. Problem is, at a mile on the turf, I think something like 72% of the races were all won by horses that came from off the pace. Seems like it's difficult to maintain speed there. The 4 horse does have some closing ability, but also, there you go again, Barry, another left arrow horse. His early pace numbers should put him in front of all of this group right here. His late pace numbers aren't that much different than some of the best closers in the field. So if you're in front of him and you got similar late legs, maybe that's the ticket to the winner's circle to close out the last thoroughbred race. How are you going to close out you're going to close it out with your long shot. Who is it?
Number 5, Groom Lake. He is 1 for 1 at Horseshoe Indianapolis, and it was on the turf and at today's distance. Then I like number 3, Big Blue. He ran second versus similar in his last race, has the highest last speed rating at today's distance, and his best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. Then I like number 6, Driven One. He drops in class today, has the highest last speed rating. And then number 12, Ascending Moon. He drops in class today also, and the trainer wins 20% of the claiming races he has an entry in.
All right. So in my spot here for the final race of the day, I like the 6 horse as my top choice. That is the Driven One. It's the top last race speed figure. Drops in class. And when you see that combination in the PPs, past performances, it's one that's been very successful for me. Another handicapping angle you might want to put in your notebook. Better fractions last time out, and was considerably better in the last half of the race. Number 10 is the Killer Bee. That's my second choice. has some of the most late pace in the field and the best combination of early pace and late pace. Number 4 is Nomadic Fighter. That is my left arrow horse. Really improved for the first half mile of its last outing. This one was owned and trained by Hall of Famer Steve Asmussen. I expect this is a horse. It's dropping, I think, track too, coming in from Colonial Downs and those tracks out east. I think you'll see this one perform pretty well. I wonder if Steve is trying to get it sold, although it's been running in claiming ranks. So we'll see. And then finally, I agree with you. The last horse of the day for me in terms of thoroughbreds is Ascending Moon. Was a tough call for me over the 3 and the 11 with this one, but I'm going to take the horse that has better numbers at the track, at the distance, and at the surface. So 6, 10, 4, and 12 close out our picks for thoroughbreds, but it doesn't close out our Horseshoe Indianapolis late pick 4 for the hot dog. I mean, the prime rib version. Terry, you went 3 by 4 by 4 by 4. I put the 3 with the first-time starters in race number 7. I expect one of those 3 to win.
All right. To me, this last part of the card is pretty wide open, so I think you're going to see some good prices here.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to try to maybe squeeze a couple more horses in and shorten up a couple.
Yeah.
But I really had a hard time because I really wanted a little bit more coverage in that last race because I felt like
I.
anybody could win that last one.
And you can see that with looking at our picks because we only have a couple of picks the same, and then we have 2 that are different. So, yeah, if I play this, I'll play your 2 horses I don't have that you have as my last part there and up my budget a little.
All right. Well, the last race is one of those bumper car races or what I call the lotto races where they got the little ping pongs and they just bounce in and then they just come out at the end.
Yeah.
So for me at the end, they're going to come out 3, 6, 1, 5. Play that as your pick 4 at the local grocer today. If you do the state lottery, 3, 6, 1, 5 is going to be the pick 4. What do you think, Terry?
I like the 1, 3, 6, 2. So.
All right. You don't have any reason today? You just
I do. The 1 is improving in each race, so that seems like he's working into form. And number 3 is ran second in her debut race, so that was pretty nice. Then the 6, My Little Star, ran third in her last race, and then number 2, 3X a Lady. She had a really good start and held on for third in her last race.
So to answer your question, Praveen, in terms of the horse center we're talking about. The race center Horse Center, if that's what you're talking about, our show, that's another show that we do in the evenings at 8:00 Eastern time, where we bring on guests, usually jockeys, trainers, people from in the industry. We've had on track announcers. I mean, you name it, people who work on the backside. Really want to try to help expose more people to the personalities. Almost everybody that we've talked to or communicated, well, I would say everybody, I don't know if say almost, but everybody that we've communicated with, whether they work on TBG, they work on the backside, they're star jockeys, they're grinding it out at a smaller track as jockeys, they're emerging jockeys. So, I mean, we've had a lot of folks on here that we cover every part of the sport, great interviews. And if all you need to do is go to our horse racing, the same YouTube channel on you right now, and if you look at our videos, you will see all of our Horse Center videos in there, all of our pick videos in there. Everything we've ever done is on there. One of the things that we are is very transparent with our picks. We put them online. Later on in the day, I will post them on horseracingtoday.net a little bit. So we have our notes will be along with my pace worksheet will be on there. Everything is out there on the open. Our picks are there for better or worse. Our history is there for better or worse, mostly for better. I would say, and we appreciate everybody who follows us, Terry. And what are the best ways to follow along so that you do not miss any more Horse Center shows?
Well, you need to go. Let me get back to where I was supposed to be. I got something wrong here. Oh, there we are. Yeah, you need to go and subscribe on YouTube and hit the little bell so that you get notified, and also give us a thumbs up there. Indeed. And then give us a thumbs up on Twitter, at YouTube,
Facebook, all of the above.
Number 2 day. And then do the same thing at Instagram and also at Facebook. So
Terry, Barry wants to know, what is your $50 play to win today, Hollywood? And I know you got that one horse as your best, but it's going to go off at 3 to 5. So you can't pick a 3 to 5, Terry.
All right. So let me look at my picks again and give me just a minute here. Let's see.
I like the 7 in race number 3, and that's
Yeah.
gonna. And it's. I think it's like 7-2 morning line too. So maybe for me, I would go with the 7.
Yeah. And that's race number 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm still looking here.
Well, Terry looks
I like you know what? I like the one horse in the fourth race.
the one
Gypsy
horse in
Rose
race
Lee.
number 4.
Yeah.
All right, so there you go. So Terry and I, our best bets are in race number 2 and race number 3. And Terry says maybe the one in race number 4. So maybe a 171 for a little $1 pick 3, and hopefully Terry hit those 3 correctly. Our long shots are in race number 5 for Terry. Race 8, number 5 for Terry. Mine is in race 5, number 6 for me. Our box it up 4 horses will be put together in an exacta box, a trifecta box, and a superfecta box. Back-to-back boxes, Terry. Race 5, race 6. So maybe you also put those 4 horses in a double, right?
Yeah, that might work out pretty good for you.
Yeah, because we think that both of us believe those are races where we might get some prices. So hopefully that's the case. Starting out the show in race number 1 with the hot dog pick 4. Terry and I both agree the one horse in race number 2 probably going to go off. 3 to 5 odds might even be high for that horse when the gates open. So I wanted to put the 5 in there, but I didn't. That was the second choice for me. So if you have a little bit better budget, maybe try to beat the 1 with something else, because if you do, you're going to knock out almost all the other tickets, make much bigger payouts. We both agree on 4 horses in race number 3. And then our prime rib pick 4. I'm going to go with the 3 first-time starters, hoping one of them hits the board, the one with the highest odds, of course. Terry's going to do in race number 5, both of us putting together $96 for our picks. That is the way we see Horseshoe Indianapolis playing out today. Again, full picks there. And yesterday in the show, our wonderful and smiling Jamie Martinez said that we bring folks on to the show and we seem to manifest greatness for them. So she wanted to see Willie in the winner's circle more often. Her husband, Willie Martinez, who is a jockey at Presque Isle Downs. So I made Presque Isle Downs the free track of the day over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. There is a link in the description below downstairs. Just please hit it and let them, so that they know where you're coming from. There's also links over to horseracingtoday.net and on our Facebook page. Use those links, please, to go over there and do the free picks at Presque Isle Downs. And Jamie, this is to Willie finding his way. I'm putting it in the universe. I'm manifesting it right now. Willie's going to have a great day. What do you think about that, Terry? That's teamwork right there, my friend.
It is, yeah. I think that works out really well.
Hello, Rich. Course 6, number 3. What do you think about his genealogy? I think it's good. So are you talking about Indianapolis? So Indianapolis, Horseshoe Indianapolis, race number 6, horse number 3. Terry, you want to take a look at that one too in the meantime, real quick?
Okay. All right.
All right. Race 6, horse number 3. I'm looking at it. This is a mile on the turf. Remember, 3 does have okay turf breeding, it looks like to me.
Is out of English Channel and with Smart Strike. So yeah, looks like it looks. We're talking about the same race, right?
Revealing,
race
I think.
Yeah, it's female. Yeah.
But when I look at like the pedigree scores, like the Fairy Cake scores much higher, as does the 5 horse. So there's a few others in here that have a little bit higher pedigree score.
Yeah.
Looking at the 3 horses races so far, he's been on turf. He's been close in 2 of them. The last time out was the favorite last time out, and the trainer there, Jimmy Corrigan, does hit at 33%. He's won 3 of 9 with the favorite coming out the next time out. Last time out did run slightly better fractions at a mile than the previous time it ran at a mile.
Yeah,
so I think the 3 horse could be a horse in there that you want to consider as well. It's one that maybe we overlooked, Terry.
Could be, yeah. In that 6th race, that could happen. So I know I looked. The number 3 horse actually didn't come out too bad in my my handicapping sheets. It's just that you can't pick them all. So
I went with a couple horses that I felt like had a little bit better turf pedigree, but maybe we overlooked that one. So if you feel good about it, I would say Trust your intuition when it comes to horse racing, my man, because we don't have exclusivity. I wish we did on great picks, Terry, but unfortunately we don't.
I wish I had a crystal ball, but I don't.
But what we do have exclusivity on is our Horse Racing Today gear. So please head on over to horseracingtoday.net. While you're there, you can click on the HRT gear in the menu, pick yourself up, see you in the winner circle hat. Nobody on the planet is going to have this hat but you and folks who are part of our family. It's a great way to help support the show, as well as giving us a thumbs up on Facebook, Twitter, and retweeting us, following us, all that stuff on social media. All right, Terry, I think that wraps it up today. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
Well, as I always say, just be really good to your loved ones and friends, and even your enemies. Treat them like you want to be treated. I hope that things settle down over in Europe, and I hope the people in Florida and Carolina are able to have some better days in the future. So.
Indeed. Well, since you brought it up about the 3-horse and intuition, it's one of my 3 things today is to trust your inner voice, right? It's your conscience telling you what to do.
Yeah.
And sometimes we all know when, like, that moment when we do something wrong and our brain is telling us, or our heart or our subconscious, don't do it. And we do it anyway. And then the opposite holds true, where we want to do something and we don't do it because we talk ourselves out of it. And indeed, that horse always wins, Terry. No,
it does. Yeah,
indeed, for sure. Second thing today, I'm going to say is if you feel like you deserve a raise, go ask for it today. Today's a great day to ask for a raise. You've worked hard. Inflation's up. If you feel like you're value to your company, go ask for a raise. And certainly, I would like one around here. Because we do everything pro bono right now. Hopefully that'll change. And the way you can help us change that is get a hat, get a shirt, help us out. Tell your friends about us. That helps us as well. And then finally, no matter what it is you do today, we certainly hope it ends up in one place. It can only be our good friend, who I think has been back to work now. So I'm happy to hear that. Our friend Jay Marcos. Oh, one last thing. Tomorrow, Charles will be back. We'll be covering Keeneland tomorrow. Thursday, we'll do Belmont at the Big A. Anyway, no matter what else it is you're doing today, we hope it ends up in one place. It can only be
the winner's circle.
Absolutely. Again, thanks for joining us, and have a fantastic and terrific Terry Tuesday.